What is up, everybody? This is Tikwa, also known as Richard. We're coming back to you with another Season 3 video. This time, we are going to be covering the Malians. Now, I have actually been playing with a newly found friend of mine, um, Wiser Donut. He is actually really, really good with the Malians. I think he was season Season 2 Diamond, if I remember correctly. So he is a pretty skilled player, but he seems to understand Malians better than I've seen anyone and myself play it over the last few weeks. Even in the pub and so forth. I do think there's some balance changes that's going to come to the Malians very soon. But let's quickly hop into two or three games. I'm also looking at the team games and what makes the Malians so unbelievably strong. We played a 1v1 here, and then we played another one here, which is the first game we met, China. But I want to dissect this game. I want to dissect this game as well, and then we'll go into this game on a separate video. So we'll call it a series of the Malians, and we'll start with this first game of the Chinese and just show you guys exactly what's going on. Okay, so I want to focus on the perspective from his side, and I think the new UI will actually make that very comfortable for us to view exactly what's happening and where, because it's unbelievable. So we are playing the Chinese. We are on a mega random map. Let's hop over to the new creator mode. And you can see immediately we go on to food. So we have 6 on the food. Let's just check that like that. 7 housing space. Now you can see exactly. He started with 4 on. He actually spawned all the way this side. This little river and a lot of gold on this mega random spawn. But you can see he split 4 onto immediately onto wood, 3 onto food. Nothing on gold yet. There's the nice little gold vein here at the back. And everything else, if there was a sound, that was my earphone. Sorry about that. So he has 4 on the on wood, 4 on food now, and still hasn't rallied out anywhere. We go for 6 on or 2 on gold. You start with the 6 on the food, 2 on the gold, and then the rest back onto food until about 10. That's only when I start transitioning into wood. And this map was quite interesting because you can see there was these crazy mountain spawns, but also these forests closed off a big part of this bottom section of the map, which is very interesting. But you can see most of the gold and everything spawned towards the side. A double sacred site right here, another one right here. So 3 sacred sites. Keep an eye on the villagers because we do get a pretty decent age up going here. Now we can see he is on 5 on food, 4 on wood, so he hasn't touched wood. He rallied up to 5 on food, and now he went over with 1 onto the gold. He built the pit mine, and now he's building the houses. So how the pit mine works is you get gold income for every single building, specifically a house and a mining pit, which is around this building, the pit mine. So you can only have so many, and it's a small vein, so there's a specific number that actually works with regards to the eco that actually makes it very profitable, but he's just going for the max buildings on this. I think there's a little gap here on the sun side. You can see we already starting with the Barbican of the Sun at 225. We are actually dropping down the Barbican. So that's really early for any player to have that early of a Barbican. And we did it with 5 villagers to get the Barbican up. Most people actually goes for the second landmark, the Imperial Academy, because then you can get Imperial officials out and just run with that. I went for the Barbican. I just wanted to be safe. This is, like I said, the first time I've played against him. The reason I also went for the Barbican is because I have a 1 forward gold and nothing here at the back, only the stone, isolated here on the side, and then everything else is forward. So I was scared. Maybe this was even better right here. I was scared if I didn't push forward with the Barbican, then there was a high chance that my base is going to be vulnerable to early aggression, which I know the Malians is very prone of doing. Um, So villagers right now, 15, 16, yes, perfect. No idle times on the villagers. That's why he has one econ more. I think there was a little brief moment where I paused on my villager training. And he's sitting on 300, almost 400 resources now. Over on the gold, you can see because he has all of the buildings right there. No villagers even on the gold vein. Getting a really nice. Let's just see how much it is actually. Um, it says 88, but that's going to go up. You can see it's going up, and there's no villagers on it. So we'll see. I think it balances out on, I want to say 120 gold per minute with all of the spaces filled. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. And you can see he's still on, okay, he's now on 5 on wood. I think he's rallied maybe onto the wood line, and then he's going for the dock, which is going to be crazy on these early shore fish. That's 1,000, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just this little section is almost 7,000 food. That's like two, 3 deer patches, and that's not even going this way. So a lot of food. Same this side, you can see all of the fish. So it is definitely worth going with the dock. Um, so the thing that I want to focus on is how quickly this game escalates, and it's going to be interesting to show you guys how the change happens because the thing is, we are transitioning now onto wood. We have our food, we have our gold. I have a little bit more on gold because I like getting these early research upgrades as soon as you have the castle age. That's why I said the Imperial Palace is probably better because you go into that Imperial officials, which give you that extra 20% right off the bat when you supervise. So while you're having these villagers out, you get one Imperial official, for argument's sake, on the berries. You move your sheep onto there, and then you have one imperial official on the wood with your standard on the gold. That is really nice and a really big spike in your economy. Now he reached 5 minutes 30. That was his age of time. He actually went for the Mansa quarry, and that's also going to produce 75 gold per minute. And we can see now his gold is all the way up to 108 per minute. But this probably is the 90 gold. I think that's the amount of gold that's going to come in from this. So with these two buildings, his gold is going to be booming, and we actually have to use villagers to get that. He doesn't, so he gets a very nice villager lead. I don't know if this counts the villagers because of that. I don't think I'd train that little villagers. He actually, oh, there we go. That's the difference. He has the fishing boats out, and that's why his economy is scaling up a little bit. One little idle villager here, but we have a village coming out. I built the little palisade walls here because we had a scout that came and scouted the back. I actually thought this forest was closed off here at the back, so I thought if he had to come back with the scout, we can just kill him with the town center. That's why you see the little palisade wall here. Now we are getting wheelbarrow, we are getting lumber, and we are getting the mining specialized pickaxe. This is the double broadaxe, getting all the upgrades as well as the Imperial Academy, which means we go into the Song Dynasty, which allows us to get that extra training speed on the town center. You'll see the Song Dynasty. We are in the Tang Dynasty right now. We'll go into the Song Dynasty very shortly. So just so you know, Tang Dynasty, I think that means that your scouts has extra line of sight. So we have a very broad line of sight from this. You can see we actually can get through here at the back. He was a diamond player, as you can see right there. We actually have the new last season's landmark, which we were platinum in. You can see the little the tentacles coming out from the octopus there and grabbing the little probably galley fishing boat there. So it's a sofa here with a warrior scout, picked off a little villager there for free. Um, so we have the defense quite nice with the Barbican of the Sun and the town center. That's going to be more than enough to provide the defense we need for early on. And let's just check in on what he did now again. So he's very heavy on wood. So obviously this is a bonus. It's not going to be every map that you are going to have the fishing economy, but you can see he did not go stone. We are actually transitioning into stone for a second town center now. He actually has a large vein pit, the large pit vein, right, or large gold vein with a pit mine, and that's going to be 120, if I remember correctly, of gold coming in from there. That's a 90 gold coming in from there, and there's a third one right here, and you can build one per age. So age 2 castle of feudal age, now he needs very heavy wood, and he has the stables, and I think the gold is going to be reinvested into cattle. So you will probably see the mill right here. These cattle are 100 gold each. So if you have 369, that's 900. He's building another one. 1,200 on four of them. So that's a lot of gold to invest into cattle. So I mean, if you're getting early pressure from, let's say, the English or the French, I don't think this is always going to be possible. But in these longer games, it is going to be a bit of a big difference. So we have warrior scouts and sofas 2-2. And I decided to get the extended line upgrade. We have the naval arrow slits. I actually thought that would reach, but it doesn't when you get the naval arrow slits. I'm curious. We'll see if this range actually increases. So I pulled a few villagers just to get this outpost off, just to deter him from breaking down this wall. And we'll go for a repair. And now you can see we actually have a lot on food, a lot on wood. Just checking the numbers quickly, we have 10 on wood, 16 on food, and 0 on gold. We'll transition more into the gold very shortly. As soon as the second town center is up, and then we'll get all of that going with the extra town centers. Um, so he has the one pit mine, second pit mine, and those cattle, coming out now. You can actually kill cattle. They don't need to go into the what do you call it, the cattle ranches. They can just be right here. But you can see the way he's building it. He's making space for the castle age landmark. And if you allow a Malian player to do this, you're going to be in for a very hard time. He has 22 on food, 5 on gold. So he actually has a few extra villagers on gold. We're at the 10 and 11 minute mark. So against the Holy Roman Empire player, rushing men at arms, this is really not going to be that easy to pull off, even if you're going against French knights. This might be a different game, but if it's long games like this, it becomes a much different game. If you don't have that early pressure, then this is the standard thing that I would recommend you do, because you'll see how quickly this starts to change the tempo of the game when we get into the later part of the game. He's actually picking up a little scout here. You can see still doing, still on the sheep, but he is getting food from the cattle. So as far as I remember, that's 28 cattle garrisoned in each ranch will generate 28 food per minute. I think that's per cattle. I don't think that's 28 food per. I don't think it's per cattle. That's over 100. I think it can't be per cattle. We'll see. But you'll see now he walled off right here to secure the double sacred sites, and now he's going for the Grand Fulani Coral. Now this landmark is absolutely crazy. It says the nearby cattle provides 20 food per minute. So that is each one of these cattle farms. What you can also do, just so you guys know, if you can only store 3 on each. You can see there's the cattle standing here, the only one that you can select. The way you deal with that is you click the mill and you shift click these cattle ranches like this. What will happen is they will go and see, okay, this is full, this is full, this is full, and they'll go to the first empty cattle ranch. I think that is what he did, because you can see this cattle went all the way to the back here, and now he's coming back and he's going to fill up right here. I think this one just didn't have that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cattle ranches. And that's 3. You can build a maximum of 20 cattle, if I remember correctly. So a little raid wanted to come in here. You did get 2 villagers, but we are on a second town center now. You can see we surpassed him on the villagers. He's getting some pretty good economy, or we can't really see the upgrades, but you can see I wonder if you can see it on our side. Yeah, okay. So it's from the perspective of the player, I guess, not as a spectator. So um, I wonder if you can change the person that you're actually looking at. You can do the speed, so I probably just need to remember the keybinds. Then I can switch over to different to actually switch over to this view and show you the different upgrades. Now the Malians, you can see he's still pumping out those cattle. Let's show you quickly the income per minute. So we have 18 on food. He has 23 on food because cattle doesn't count as population. 26 on wood, we have 20 on wood. Let's just look at the income per minute. So we are getting 1,700 food per minute. He is getting 500 food per minute. He is getting an extra 200 gold per minute. We are getting 600 gold per minute. So from this perspective, with the extra villagers on gold, that's some pretty good numbers. We are actually in the castle age because we went up with the astronomical clock tower, and the right thing to do right here would have been to go for some nest of bees. They are very strong units. So it is nice to have some of them, but this map is specifically quite difficult for me, the mega random. I'm not a huge fan of the randomness. I like training on a map and understanding actually what to expect. It's a little bit more different or difficult when you don't have that. So we have the granaries, not the best spawn, but I was dealing with the space that I had. And we have the three town centers now, and all three town centers plus the food of the. Actually, wait, just back up the horse right here. I talked wrongly here with these cattle. That is absolutely said. This was the Chinese player. I was crisscrossing these things. Look at the wood that I'm getting. Look at the food that I'm getting. And this is with 30 villagers on food. He has 18 villagers on food. He's getting 1,500 food per minute. We are getting 1,000. That is unbelievable from the cattle to actually get that much food and not even have to have the economy. You can see also had a extra farm right here, but that's huge numbers on food. And I thought this was the gold. This is actually his gold from the two pit mines and what is this? 14 villagers on gold. And he's on lower population than I am right now, and he's almost outscaling me on every single resource on resources per minute, excluding the wood. But we actually have quite a bit of villagers on wood, so that makes sense. But everything else is just unbelievable. So he has the stone right here, and I'm guessing that's probably going to be to build another town center. I'm not sure. We'll see where these villagers go. Or he's probably going to go for a stone wall. Oh, actually not. He's going for a keep. He already used it. Holy smokes. Now he's transitioning into economy with the archery ranges and the stables and going for heavy barracks so he can get that army going. We also are starting to transition. We have the stables, we have the archery ranges, barracks. Not crazy numbers of units, but the spearman is a nice counter because Malians do have these veteran sofas and warrior scouts, which are really strong. So it's quite nice to counter them with spearmen. But with that being said, we are starting to go onto nights. Cleaning up the base, removing the mining camp we used to get the town centers up. The wood line is getting finished. We also transitioned into food, by the way. So we have really nice numbers. You can see the population is almost a 40 villager lead, right? Which is huge. We are microing the resources quite nicely because there's no excess resources like what you see right here, 4,000 food. I mean, how is that normal? I don't think that is normal. He has wheelbarrow. He doesn't have any of the upgrades. Actually, the first level of upgrades he does have. We have the lumber preservation we do have, and the first upgrades on the farming and on the mining. Now he's going for the Great Barrow, so he's going Imperial Age. At 18 minutes, he's going Imperial Age with insane amount of economy behind this. I don't think it's impossible to beat it. But this is crazy numbers. So we see a little fight breaking out here, and we are going now to deal with these hardened Donzo. He has the Imams out, which is their religious units. And then he has a feast that he can use right here. Increases the food gathering rate, increases military unit production speed, and increases siege and torch damage of all units. But just to give you guys an idea, now the units are starting to get trained. He has Imperial Age, so he's going to get those Imperial upgrades probably coming in soon. And I pushed forward because I have armored units, and his units aren't armored. Some of them do extra damage versus armor units, but we are getting quite a nice value for our units here. If the sound is a little bit much, I still need to balance this out since the new update, so sorry about that. So we have a forward keep up right now, and the crazy part about all of this, he has his mosques out and units. Did he go for a second town center? No, he didn't. He went for the keep. He has the double sacred site. Now this is what I wanted to show you guys. He has two sacred sites. He has the relics. Let's just have a look how many relics he has. He has three, right? So 3 relics plus the cattle gives him the food, 1,500 food. He's getting almost 1,200 gold per minute, and we actually have 21 villagers on gold. He has 15 on gold. So all of that passive income gold is coming from the pit mines and the villagers on the mining. So it makes 100% sense why he has such a strong economy, even though I have these high villagers. The pit mine gives 120 gold right there. There is another 90. There is another 90. There's another 240. So you can see how quickly it scales up if you get this right with the Malians to play into this late game, and why they aren't considered bad in the late game with these type of numbers. We aren't even able to really train the right type of units because I want to go for armor units, which is going to be from the stables, but I am really struggling just to balance everything out. And I think this is where my mistake of the game comes in. So he's pushing forward with a very heavy army. I actually thought this was enough to, deter him because I'm basing it on my side, but if you see what I do right here, I go for the Spirit Way and the Imperial Palace right at the same time, which is no defense or no benefit without any information, and I'm trying to fight at the same time. So that being said, I should have had, if I had unit production right here and used those resources, had some nest of bees, everything out, that would have been a much different game. And I'm just going to speed it up here a little bit. He's going to pick up the keep here, building his own keep, getting the third sacred side. 1,600 gold per minute, unbelievable. With 15 villagers on gold, that is really high numbers. 18, just look at this, 18 villagers on food, right? Excluding the cattle, 1,800, 1,600 per minute food, or the food per minute is 1,600, right? I actually have to match it with 47 villagers on food to get around 2,000. So let's say 40 villagers on food, plus it's the upgrade, the second upgrade, and I think one of them, Imperial officials. No, he's not here. Okay, so that's equivalent of half. So you can have a 20 unit count more of army just because of that. I understand the gold advantage that he has because of those sacred sites and all of the relics that he has and the pit mines, but that is unbelievable. So there's 1, 2, excuse me, 3, and if he could actually go for a 4th pit mine to get that 3 gold. But yeah, this is pretty much GG from our side. You can see we lost our second keep, and these 2 buildings was just a waste because they didn't give me any immediate advantage, and the units are too little too late to get all of these units out now, when I could have done that instead of using the spirit weights and just getting the right upgrades. I could have done that a lot better. I don't even think I have a blacksmith this game. I don't even have a blacksmith. That's actually very sad. But it's a very good demonstration for you guys to just show you how overpowered the Malian economy can be if left untamed. So don't play into the late game against them if you are not controlling this or raiding these gold mines. And I'll show you in the next game the difference as well, because you saw the resource advantage that we have. You can see now again we are floating 3,000 food, 3,500 wood, which is hundreds and hundreds of horsemen. And I decided to tap out because he's literally right inside my base and I have 0 military left. So take note of that just for the future. But I'm going to make it this series and not make this video too long. I'll show you guys in the next few videos another demonstration of how early aggression gets countered as well with the Malians and why you should consider playing the Malians right now. They are a really, really strong civilization. Thank you for watching.